Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Happy Mother's Day. We're back again in the land of the living. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So, all I can say to you all out there, it's Mother's Day. Natalie, you got children?
Tony, do you have children?
I got a whole army. What was you?
Hey.
I got an
Now, for
army.
you to ask me that question,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
make me feel like you're a stranger.
Yeah. I just was checking to make sure you here alive and kicking. You focus. Now I know you
I'm
focus now.
focused, present,
Yes,
alive,
yes, you
and
got,
kicking.
you got you. Yes, you got children. I know you got children.
Yes, I'm the mother of two.
And mother too.
Yeah, one boy, one girl,
I
man
got.
and woman.
And how much of them is really yours?
I gave birth to two.
You give birth. Oh, I
Hmm
got four. And I sure that's what you try to tell me. You give, why you say you give birth?
I am a woman. That's what women do.
So you sure they're yours?
Well, they brought them to me at the end of the day.
So what happened to me? I got it. You think I got a guest in mind?
It ain't Father's Day. Today is Mother's Day.
Ah, I know you
You
was gonna say
focus on that next month.
that. Yeah. So happy birthday to all those happy birthday.
Happy
No,
Mother's Day. Well,
happy Mother's Day.
it's
Same thing.
because of
Yeah.
birthing that
But
they are
yeah,
mothers.
right.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
So happy Mother's Day to all you folks out there around the world and in the Bahamas. Um, we can throw something
It
out.
is the most celebrated day of the universe
Why you think so?
because they say the hands that rock the cradle
Listen now. Get me. Come on. Start me up.
rules the world.
Yeah. But guess what?
And that's what mothers do.
Guess what? You give you all this credit, and they even like you know Father's Day. Like they say they bring us crab and buy us a belt. And I usually say, you buy me a belt to cut my backside. Because that's what they do. They buy you cologne. I like the mothers, they go all over. They go cook. They get flowers. They go carry them to dinner. The whole
People
stuff.
do that for their fathers too.
Yeah, very rare.
Well, they don't buy the flowers, but the fathers get the gifts. They take it out to dinner. They get the cologne.
Yeah, see,
It's just that,
the
you
cologne.
see, you got to
Tell
realize
me what I
most
realized.
holidays are commercialized. And so wherever the commercial goes, the money flows.
Oh,
So it's not that
so
mothers are more loved than
it's just that
fathers.
mothers like spend money. They like spend the money.
But y'all are the ones who be spending the money on the mothers. The daughters buy the sons. The only woman in the world they
Oh,
love is their mother.
so we start this. We cause this. The men.
I wouldn't say y'all cause it, but y'all
Mm,
sure that's one thing y'all subscribe to, which is a very good thing.
let's spend money.
Because mothers spoil their sons, don't they?
I know, but
According to you, oh, Tony backpedaling.
I ain't back better, I know, but but like I say, right, moving right along. Let's move right along. Um, today we can do something. We can discuss relationship with the church, and then we can discuss. We have a discussion on behavior and all that. But before we do that, all you listeners out there, don't care where you is around the world here in the Bahamas, you can hit me up right now if you want to, and you let us know what's the name of your mother, and we'll call her live on the show. We will we'll call her name out, and you can say Happy Mother's Day to her. Send Happy Mother's Day to her. We do that. So whoever want, whoever's listening, we will send shout out to your mother. Um,
Maybe I could get the ball rolling and send a shout out to my mom who's not here. She's all the way in Cat Island celebrating Mother's Day there with two of her daughters.
send it.
So my mom, Marina Fernanda,
Marina Fernanda,
in Port Howe, Cat Island right
Marina
now.
Fernanda, happy birthday if you hear this.
Happy Mother's
I
Day.
keep on saying this birthday. What birthday on my mind? Anyway, happy Mother's Day, Marina, in Cat Island, and I hope you're enjoying this day. From
And then I can also say Happy Mother's Day to my two sisters
you
that
could
are
do
there
that.
too.
Say
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Denise Bethel,
Then,
Jan Thurston.
hey
Happy
John,
birthday.
hi Denise.
Happy birthday. See what me saying happy
Right there,
birthday
I
like
like that.
yourself. Happy
Happy Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day.
Send We can
Yes.
send shout out to all of y'all. So whoever out there hit us up. Let us send shout out to your mother for you,
Or your
or your
significant
significant other,
female,
your mother-in-law, your best
your
friend,
wife,
your wife. You hit us up.
baby mama.
Um, I would be amiss if I don't send shout out to. I start a problem, so you know I got 3 and 4 women, so I can send shout out to 3 and 4 women. You know, I have 2 lovely daughters out there. I will send shout out to my 2 lovely daughters on their Mother's Day and enjoy. And any more else you want to send shout out to?
I think I've done it. All my sisters, of course, I could say that.
Yeah.
Sisters,
Oh,
sisters in laws,
what about Beryl?
nieces. Oh, yeah, Beryl is
You
a
send
mom.
Beryl and Foxhill
Foxel is a mom.
and Bunny,
Yes.
Audrey,
Tamika,
and who else we can send
Sharon,
happy Mother's Day
Jan,
to Jan,
all our followers.
all our followers.
I'm not sure if Sophie is a mom.
Sophie, happy, yeah.
Yeah, all our
Um,
regulars.
um,
Happy
um,
Mother's Day.
we have Lun, oh Lord, Sharice Lun. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday. I hope we don't miss
Happy
anybody.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I like that birthday
Yes.
thing. I can't get that birthday in
Birthdays
my
are
mind.
more significant.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I can understand you forgetting because your mom is no longer with
Yeah,
you,
but my
right?
mother's not
So,
here. So if my
hmm
mother were here, let me tell y'all, folks. Since you brought my mother up your mind, listen, folks. My mother is not here, but I had one of the most outstanding, loving, caring, sexy, sweet, hot mother in the world. I had one of the best mother you ever on this planet, graced this planet. Um, let me say something about my mother. When I can talk, my mother. This is my mother. I can talk. My mother was a singing woman, and she always sing. Everything she do, she sing.
Happy.
Yeah,
Sound like a happy
yeah,
spirit.
she had great. And she always say to me, boy, listen here, you gonna be the best thing since sliced bread. She says, tell me that all the time, and I just wonder why you laughing. That's what my mother used to tell me,
Mothers and
and she
their sons.
used to say, ain't nobody. But something she say to me, but I ain't happened yet. I ain't know what happened. I must eat this what stray. You say children is stray. She used to say to me, boy, you can be the priest and the bishop, but I must eat straight. I don't know what going on.
You
But I
must
preaching
hear.
now. I preaching now. I can preach now today because our topic,
Hmm.
we'll be talking about the
Yes.
church today. So it's hot out here. You mightn't believe it. See, Melanie Wyvern, it's so hot.
Oh,
You all
yeah.
won't believe it. We under the tree. So it looked like it cool,
And we in the shade,
and we in the shade.
but
And
it is hot.
and we based because we got international people now. So we got to say we're based in Nassau, Bahamas, in the western part of the island, under the tree, one of the oldest settlement in the Bahamas, and
Yes.
we are having one of the greatest time of life. Melanie here, cause enjoying a Mother's Day. Well, let me say Happy Mother's Day to you too. I forget that. So, and then I say Happy Mother's Day to all my significant others. I say Happy Mother's Day because I don't want nobody get, I got, but I got a lot of sisters. I can't do that. But my mother's, last thing I said about my mother, she was a sweet woman. And when I say sweet, she used to, she used to make sure prepare my food for me. I was the last child, you see. So I prepare my food. My mother ironed my pants, my uniform shirts every night before she go. So I am telling you, I had a mother who loved me endlessly, and she loved her last child. And
Oh,
so,
you was the baby. Spoiled
yeah,
brat.
yeah. But she's gone. And she would have been singing right now. Mother, she'd been singing, Mama, Mama, you know I love you. Oh, my mother. Let me stop. Mama, you're the beat of my heart. Sing the rest.
I don't know that song.
So, I know the song. Mama, I want you to know Yodem. Let's go. Let's get our show on. Because I
Yeah,
get all
yeah.
emotional. Listen, my mother, if I only could hear my mother sing again. Boy. Anyway, so what we talking about today, Melanie?
Well, we're talking and we're addressing the topic requested by one of our followers and dear friend, Peter
Hmm.
Gay.
Hmm.
And Peter Gay spoke passionately about the relationship in the church. The basically, I could jump right in and say that church people are judgmental. They look at you based on how you're dressed. If you don't go to church every Sunday, you're labeled as a sinner, and nobody can really know or read your heart. So, why is it that people are so eager and ready to judge you based on your church attendance, based on your apparel, or based on your social life, the things that you do on a regular basis, which in truth, there is nothing that suggests that some of the things that you're being judged on will prevent you from seeing the face of God when you part this earth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I listening to you. I want to hear. See this religion, Christianity thing, and this church and behavior and all of that.
Hmm.
I don't describe them things because you could judge me as much as you want. I had a sister one time tell me that you can't talk on religion
Hmm.
because she felt that, I guess, I was in the crazy Christian. You know, the folks when they call it the crazy Christian, the one that every time they talk, we talk about God
Hmm.
and His goodness. Let me tell you where I believe a lot of this gone wrong. It, you know, you know why the behavior and the goes on in the church like this? It's because um, only the only the pastor and his followers in the church, the leaders in the church, are
Hmm.
Christians. This is what they betray to the world. This is what they betray. That if you ain't come through them, if you're not saved by coming up, and I pray for you, you ain't saved because they don't judge you. Because see, I had a conversation and now forget this week on the same on some topic. I met this young girl and this young guy in in the optical place, the eye
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
And we were talking, and she said that her boy she waiting on the ring. So I said, why are you waiting on the ring? And she said, yeah, I waiting. I said, you a Christian? She said, yeah. She said she waiting on the ring. I said, but she said because I can't really date like that. So 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 what you telling me? You can marry this dude because he comes to church and he read the Bible. That's how you can marry him. That's all it is. I can't date him. My parents wouldn't let me go with him. So so
Hmm.
so you judging the parent is judging these young people. She can't trust these young people to go out. So but so what the parent is saying, well, get him to marry you and then you could go out all the time. So you can put me in hell before you even know me, before she know this person.
Hmm.
And so we have to be careful what we do in here. See, the church has to stop playing this game that we are the end of the world. You got to come here,
Hmm.
the beginning and the end. And too many churches and too many Christians move in the pastor move. If the pastor ain't moving, there's no movement. If the pastor ain't say it, So what they come to me, see, and what is caused the disturbance in the house? Rodney Munker said the Seventh-day Adventist people, I never forget it, disturb his marriage. You know what he's trying to say? What and what I'm trying to say now is this. What he's trying to say, me and you, right? Me and you get me and you married. There's no reason the church people will come and tell you, well, today is Sunday and church is at 9 o'clock, so you better be there because you got to see each other. If your husband says to you he wants you to do something, sometimes you need to call the church and say, I can't make it Sunday. Because the church will start taking in your marriage. And when your marriage is destroyed, the church, the only thing they can tell you, go hold on God, get on your knee and pray. When you live in this rough life because of, see, and I'm not knocking the church because we need the church. The church has a role to play in society. The church do well in certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking basic um, principle. There's too much interference by the church in relationship
Okay.
because majority of people in the churches today are women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Majority.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why the men don't go to church is because not that the men see the pastor is not living the life. That's not it. The men feel that why my wife is now bringing the church home in my house. So the man get an attitude and don't want to go to the church no more because he feels that the church teaching and doctrine is causing my marriage. And one thing with man, if they men have man love control, and if they feel that they're losing control, they're not. The marriage can be in trouble, and so that is why we have to be careful of how the church move forward now. And the church has the power. See, there's every time there's something in season. Everything it's in season. Everything's in season. Everything is in season. It's time for the church. It's time for to be home. It's time for everything. And when you see churches, the relationship we're talking about now, but how about the church having this all this problem along with this. When you see churches having the 6 hours on Sunday,
6 hours.
yeah, because you got three in the day and three in the night, 3 in the morning. Because churches go from 11, supposed to come out. Some churches go from 11 o'clock. The Baptist church go from 11 till 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they go till 2, because sometimes we run late.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the night service. And then the night service, they have a program in the night, or whatever. And then sometimes they have, watch now, they have service. They either have some meeting or some other church, some ordination.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have, if my wife in the choir, you take my wife away from me almost 6 hours on a Sunday. And this has to change. Um, the Catholics do it. They do 1 hour. I think it's 1 hour. I'm not sure. Yeah, 1 hour. And then but see, but what we need to do, we need to revisit all these things. And then, last, then I let you have the floor. The doctrine of the church
Mm-hmm.
is another problem. So much confusion, and they will say, "No, it's not a confusion." Most Christians see, and you know what why men itself in the Bahamas don't like churches. When you have an issue and you start a debate an issue with the
Mm-hmm.
church, men now, men get it really picked off because now they don't like the point when you. You start switching on me. I mean, you start discussing the church and how what it's doing, and then you switch the whole conversation to something new. And then you say, but the Anglican do this, and then the Baptist, you switching. If you're talking about something here, especially the church, if you're talking about the body of the church and how it's operating,
Mm-hmm.
let's keep it there. Don't tell me about, well, if you do it, God will strike you down. We have a discussion. Why would you try to throw this on me now? We have a discussion. Me and you have a discussion about the church. Why the role of the church? You feel that church is losing its favor between the young people. You're trying to suss it out. Then you holler about, oh, but especially the real hardcore Christians. Oh, God, what, God is always in the midst. You don't have to tell me nothing about. We discussing from the biblical side of it. We keep it so. Why all of a sudden? Because you, the one person know everything because you read the Bible. Only you. The Bible view is why I read the Bible like a different view than you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So what make you think your view is right than mine? This is heavy discussion we having here today. This is, we can get some deep stuff. But we need to get deep stuff. There's some crazy Christians around here. Now, let's be honest. There are some crazy Christians. I believe, and I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm going out. I believe Christians take Christianity too far sometimes. It's right here. It doesn't need to be. The Bible based on God knows us by our love. That's what it is. Christians by their love. So how you could tell me and scream and shout about how you could preach and how you strong, but this and you don't go to drink and you don't listen to, but you show no love. Many people don't show love. The simple basic principle is that if you show love, people will know. You don't have to tell me you're a Christian. I will know by your love. So all this, you gotta speak in tongue and you gotta run down the road and dress with your hair tying left, with all this hair cloth and you wear white and hey, hold on. All you doing is a bit crazy. Just keep this thing simple. Now, when we talk about the young people don't go to the church and why they turn up for the church, let me be straight up. Why church is so boring? Young people tell me boring. Why church so boring? Why that you have to sit in the church for somebody who's very boring, sit there and talk about something that you already read about, and you have to stand there and listen to it over and over the same thing. They're trying to beat it. Then you go to another one. This one is screaming and shouting at you. So the old church don't have to change their words, but the approach of the words now, the
Mm.
style, the way they present it. And if the church needs to look at themselves for the young people to be motivated to go back to the church. There's too many judging going on. Because I wear pants, because of when I say I mean a woman, because a woman wear pants, it doesn't mean that she's not Christian. Because a person drinks some wine doesn't mean they're not a Christian.
But they bound for hell.
They're bound for hell because ignorance of some people.
Okay.
And ignorance is a serious matter. Um, my mother, one thing she did, and she always said to me, and I think that's why I call her the rock star in my life. She said, I will teach you common sense. Remember the old people said it all the time?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Common sense take you through the world. Remember they always say that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She didn't say smart. She didn't say educated. She said common sense. Make good sense of it. If it doesn't make sense, don't fool with it. So, Melanie, that's basically what it is. I will leave it to you to beat up and dig.
Well, you've said a lot in terms of summarizing the whole
Mhm.
picture. And
It's hard.
the one thing that you mentioned
Sun right
was
in the
the
face.
doctrine.
Yeah.
And one that I think is one of the biggest, biggest problems amongst believers, and that is doctrine. Because one religion,
Hmm.
well, see, again, as Bahamians, we use religion. When we say religion, we think Christianity. Christianity is one religion,
Right. Christianity is
right?
one religion.
And in that Christianity, you have a number of different denominations,
Hmm.
and the denominational differences, and even within denominations, say Baptists competing or condemning and judging their own membership, cross judgment between really Christian denominations,
Hmm.
Catholics, Anglican, Adventist, Pentecostal, everybody thinking they're right and the other people are wrong. And when you get on the job now, what we do is we put each other under the microscope. In the community, we put each other under the microscope. But when
Hmm.
we get in the church itself, you find that people have a smile on their face, but if you were to just sit and be an observer, you will see that, okay, there is something going on here between this person and that person, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. You can actually sense when people are at odds and so forth. Then you have persons like, okay, the thing that I think Peter Gay had a concern with was, okay, so you believe in the fact that I should be in church, I should be singing in the choir. Every time the church go out on mission, I should be in the mission group.
Hmm.
But we still stand up and say, oh, the church is a body that is made up of members, and each member, like our body, have a certain part to play. So why force
I'm
me
ducking the sun,
to
folks.
play all parts without first finding out what is my gift? What is it that I am called to do as a member of the body, right? And if I'm not somebody who go on a regular basis, does that reflect my relationship with God?
But if I don't see you in the, if I don't see you in the churches regularly,
Mhm.
I gotta see you in the church regularly. If I don't see you, then and I don't know, I don't know if I don't see you in there, I wouldn't believe you a Christian because most people go to church today only because of feelings.
Some go because of tradition.
Yeah.
They
Mm.
they were raised to go to church
Right.
every
And that's what
Sunday
they
or
do.
every Sabbath,
Yeah. And
right?
mhm. But most people go to church when they look around and they don't want to be missing on the pews because if they're missing on the pews, then we it's a problem. And so the church have so much. The, the, it's like I feel guilty if I don't go. Has nothing to do with nothing to do with my spiritual and my.
And you know, Tony, that is what resonates in my mind.
Mhm.
What is the purpose of the church? Why do we assemble together?
Well, it's supposed to be Samuel of the saints. See,
Why? For
no,
what purpose?
for my knowledge to share and grow. But if you have one person opinion all the time,
Hmm.
church wouldn't grow. See, because if I see, we so gung ho that I gotta hear a message. You know that word? I gotta hear a
Mm-hmm.
message. Only one person can bring that message, and sometimes with the same person bringing the message, it gets sweet
Mm-hmm.
because you feel that his voice is the voice you gotta hear. So when you have another, prime example, when you have another minister in the church, so it ain't like my pastor because my back. But 99% of the time, this is what I say. Let me say that again. 99% of the time, the person who's not the pastor has more time to prepare themselves and they bring more meat to the service. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
The pastor running, doing, run up and down, trying to keep everything going. So, but because they ain't the pastor, that you're not paying attention to this person. But child, I can't go. Pastor, this ain't preaching this. We child, I ain't going. I can stay home. That's what they do. So and I think Christianity becoming I think it's becoming a game for people.
A game.
A game.
Interesting.
Yeah, coming a game. It's no longer. I want to. It's like I want to be a part of this organization, a social club. And only thing we do here is we worship God here on a Monday or on a Sunday, and all week you cussing and carrying on, and all week you judging people. You judging me, first of all, because I show up to church on Sunday. Secondly, you judging me because you see me walk down the road with a girl that you feel that I shouldn't be walking down the road with because she don't look like the church woman. Because
Okay.
she probably wearing a clothes a little provocative,
Mm-hmm.
or she just not like the church woman. Let's be honest. Let's be honest though. Most men will tell you they'll marry a church woman. But folks, I'm gonna be honest here. But most men don't want a church woman in bed.
Well,
See, but a church woman in bed, when she hear what see, it's what you do and what you hear and what you is come part of you. You understand?
I like that
Mm.
because it's what you call programming.
Right.
And literally, this brings us to, I think, the meat of our
Discussion.
discussion
Mhm.
in that if you are not going according to the program,
There you go. Now we're
then
talking.
something's wrong with
Yeah,
you,
something wrong with you.
right?
Yeah. So if I don't sit there and let you scream at me, you will see something. You will see some real. Like talking about going on the program, you'll see some real problems. Let's let you sit by somebody in the church who's talk a lot,
Hmm.
and you say, "Boy, the pastor, he talking for he wrong." That will go like wildfire. When you again, you the most hated person in the church.
Hmm.
You don't believe it, and the church will drive up to get rid of you. This is not a joke. You cannot say one word that is not in line with the church. If you say the pastor sermon by the Bible is off, you can have the rod of the church come after you.
And again, that is something
Mm.
that as individuals, you see, we are easy in our discussions of what is right and what is wrong. But on an individual level, when it all boils down to it, Tony,
Mhm.
if we find ourselves fixated on
Mhm.
our pastor, fixated on our membership, and one thing you hear people say all the time, my pastor, my bishop, my, okay? But it is our God.
Yeah, it is our goals, correct.
It's our God. And the church was established according to the scriptures.
Mhm.
God gave the instruction. He said, build me a sanctuary so that I might dwell with you.
Mhm.
Right? But when you look, if people were to truly judge what the template of the Old Testament looked like, what
Mhm.
the attitudes and behavior of the people was like, you would realize that it was not towards the pastor, but it was towards God.
Yeah.
So the pastor stands before his congregation and he preaches the word, but his word is not to resonate and float in a circuit around him. That
Mhm.
word, or her, let me add that because
Mhm.
you're female pastors as well.
Yeah.
That word is supposed to point every hairer upwards
Mhm.
to our source,
Right.
our creator, God.
Exactly.
Okay?
Mhm.
There is a scripture text in the New Testament that says, judge not that ye be not
The
judged.
judged. Mhm.
Okay? And so when an individual enters the church, no matter what their state is, be they drunk, incoherent, delusional, they are there to seek God. But we, somebody called this phrase standing in the way of sinners,
Yeah.
right? Where we as individuals, we are holier than thou,
Oh yeah.
or we don't commit no sin and we have it going on right. We are just ready for translation. And anybody who doesn't measure up to our standards is lost.
That's it. And boy, you know, talking about standard, and I'm gonna go down this road. Even in the homosexuals, right? If they have an issue and they wanna, let's say they one day they wake up and they said, "This is not the lifestyle I want to live."
Mhm.
They're afraid to even go to the church because they realize, you think the church gonna help them? No, no. The church will then itself and do more harm because the church gonna tell him,
Yes, we're selective
yeah,
in,
yeah,
and we are so right.
hmm,
Sometimes we misrepresent God so badly in his name, in the name of his son Jesus, and in the name of his prophets, everybody else who preceded
uh-huh.
and came after Jesus,
Because
right?
mhm,
And we are harsh. We are harsh.
yeah,
We are harsh when we ourselves are nothing but sinners.
right. And most marriages who under the gun, most marriages going through situations. It's better them go to their knees than go to the church.
And that's where we should go.
Yeah,
We should,
because
let me tell you, for me,
mhm,
my opinion with regards to marriage challenges
mhm,
and even your personal struggles, you there is no barrier between you and God. But of course, there is this common saying, excuse me, which says that God don't hear the sinner's prayer.
yeah, now we know I was getting to that next. That's exactly where I was going. But so yeah, that was exactly where I was going. But
Tomorrow,
I can let you take that. God in here, sinner's prayer. I can
God
let
don't
you,
hear a sinner's prayer.
yeah, I can let you take that one because I can let you
I
deal with
don't know where that thought originated,
it. Hmm.
okay? Because
Oh, well, them just say,
after the fall of Adam, we all have sinned and fall
no, sure,
short
we also
of the glory of God. So that means none of our prayers are answered.
none, none,
And so, what are we doing? Why are we wasting our time? Because there's no answer to our prayers. We are a hopeless, lost
and it is,
people.
and it's high time. that's why the Bible says study for yourself, approve, right?
Study to show thyself
And I
approved.
now I never, you these things in the Bible now you just start now as you get older. We were dumb and all
Well, we accepted
what our mother say and
what
daddy say.
was handed
Yeah,
on
down.
to us.
Yeah.
But, the same way that we seek out knowledge for our jobs, we should be seeking out knowledge for clarity, for our own personal, religious,
Hmm.
spiritual growth and edification. Because there is no cluster of people that are going to stand before God to give an account in a cluster. We all,
We will
if
come.
if we are to believe what we were taught,
Yeah.
right? We all have to give account for our own
But you,
deeds done in our own bodies. And you know what? The many things that we judge each other on are the things that we see that
Mhm.
they do. But what about the things that you who are judging me, the hatred, as you
Yeah.
say, the test, the
Yeah.
acid test of all times as it relates to humanity and God is the expression of love for one another,
It's love for one another. That's it. Led
right?
by your love.
And our actions may show, but we may do things to show and suggest that we love, but when in our hearts we truly hate
Well,
even the people that we feed.
yeah, majority hatred. If you the churches, you go to churches. This one don't like this one in the church. But I
Hmm.
get
Power
it's yeah.
struggles.
That's what I'm talking about hatred. When I say
Power
this one,
struggles.
oh, this one is supposed to touch to get on. This one is supposed. What we
And then
doing?
the cliques,
Yeah,
you
and then
know,
mm,
it's like
it's crazy.
you belong to us, and
Yeah,
and some people feel
yeah.
so uncomfortable when they go in the church. Not to forget now, we, the Christian nation, and our relationship with people of other nationalities.
Well, let me share something with you. I don't know if I ever shared this on the show, but I'll share this with you. When I say the word know them by their love,
Hmm.
something I had an experience. I don't know if I ever tell you that when I was going through my tests and going through my bad time and
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was in well,
Hmm.
um, I reach out for a buddy of mine,
Hmm.
and I couldn't. Somebody, his wife, said to me that she would get him to call me
Hmm.
because he was a doctor and he's a
Hmm.
buddy of mine, and Dr. Lo Chan. I'll never forget this.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, Steve, when he called me
Hmm.
and he asked me the questions, what is wrong? How? What happened? And he break it down.
Hmm.
And his demeanor and the way he talked to me made me feel comfortable that I will be well.
Hmm.
And after I get off the phone, and because because I had a discussion with you, and you told me, and you helped me search up the doctor you recommended, and and trust me, just just that word, and just the way he handled me,
The
yeah.
care and the concern, the
Dr.
genuine,
Lochan, let me tell
the
you something. That yeah,
genuine
yeah.
interest.
And then I had another encounter. I went to do work for him the other day, and I was telling him, man, those kind word, and then he walked up and he hugged me and hugged his wife at the same time. He hugged us again, and and little me, I was thinking, what is doctor come and hug me? I mean, like, I was thinking, like, see, see, when you talk about Christian, this is what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
yes,
By his love, he demonstrate that. So I have that example. I could use that as example. I could use that and tell for the rest of my life.
hmm,
That was an experience that this guy who was way up there,
or who you see as
Yeah,
being
who I
way up
saw
there,
way up there,
right?
come way down
Hmm.
and look
And
out for me.
that that is an ideal example of
It
true
was shocking.
Christian brotherly
Hmm.
love. You see, in the church, we are so caught up in our
Yes,
rituals,
yes,
our
yes,
ceremonial rituals,
yes,
that
yes.
if a troubled individual come in the church, and even I'll tell you, and this may sound crazy, but I think about the robberies,
Mm.
people showing up in the church with gun to
Yeah, rob the
rob the
church.
church of
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
And my first reaction is always, where is our faith?
yeah.
When God is no longer God,
No.
the devil is more powerful than God. I'll tell you, I remember, you see, it's our faith.
Mhm.
I was going to share a story, but that would take us off
Yeah,
track.
yeah,
But the simple things, when people go into the church, many people are hurting.
yep.
Many people need a smile,
Mhm.
a touch on the
That's
shoulder,
what I'm talking about. Why I show you by your love. Now you hit me.
a touch on the
Even
shoulder.
sometime a 5 minutes conversation to let the person know that they're going through this, they'll be all right. Even if you sometimes just buy a plate of food for somebody, you can share that love. See, we could say I'm a Christian. We could say it, but if you don't show it, it ain't
Eh,
nothing happening.
it's like a parade. What's the New Year's parade and the
Yeah,
Macy parade,
yeah.
where people go and just show off their fine apparel and their jewelry and their fine hats, and somebody of a lesser
Mm.
status
Ducky
start to
Doobie.
approach them, and they make a U-turn.
Yes, and that's what most church people do. You know what I found? Most people who call themselves Christians, that's what they do. You know what they do? When, see, if you come to pray for me, if you
Hmm.
come to pray for me and I sick in the bed and you're praying for me,
Hmm.
sometimes you could help me better by giving me $10. Because once you do that, you help me. See, your prayer and your action speak volume. The money could be the action
Hmm.
and your
And of
prayer.
course, the prayer.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so there's too many times people of faith or Christian, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
they're the meanest set of people in the world. Trust me, they so mean. They and most times Christians or people of faith always the ones have something. You ever notice what happens in churches? If you is a doctor
Hmm.
or a businessman, the pastor will put you in the front. Yeah.
Preferential.
Every Sunday you come, you go right up to the front.
Hmm.
You see, and that tells you the mindset, how they think. Well, you know,
Partiality.
yeah,
Partiality.
you don't need to help.
Preferential
Yeah,
treatment.
but you don't need to help this guy. This guy is being helped.
Well, they fulfill in the Bible, and they like to see the Bible being fulfilled. Where they say the what they say, the wealth of the rich will be stored up
Sort of
for the
for poor.
poor.
Mhm.
And then too,
Reading the tail.
huh?
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
too, you have another saying, where um if you are actually, what is being demonstrated is the
It's the
reverse.
the
It's
reverse.
the reverse of
Ah,
what the Bible actually has recorded in there,
ah,
because
unfinished.
humility
Yeah.
is what
But
is be is what is being um almost encouraged.
uh,
Humility, not to esteem yourself above the other,
right.
not to put your needs before the needs of the other, not if you go into a place, Don't go and seek out to be seen. Make yourself, be
Mhm.
comfortable in who you are, what you are,
Mhm.
and allow others to praise you. Don't sing your own praises, or who I am, or you carry yourself and conduct yourself. Yes, I'm not saying that we are not to love ourselves. What I am saying is the attitude of superiority, the attitude that I'm better than you, and people can really feel that vibration coming from you to them, you know, and the leaders of the church are at fault for encouraging such behaviors. They're the ones that are promoting it.
Yeah, but and because it's Peter, we base this on Peter Gay, she
Hmm.
called it, and another thing that religion or believers or this has to understand. You think what you're doing now is fine, but there's consequences in what you do. There's consequences in everything you do. So if you think you could stay on this high roller and high chair, wait, it coming, it coming. And so many times you hear Christians speak, they have this thing that they speak with one voice. But if that one voice is wrong,
Contrary to God.
contrary to God,
Hmm.
you one day have to account for it. And even in what you do, if you think you could be married and do fool, consequences. If you think that you could sit in the church and mash other people because you won't be the deacon and you won't be in charge, consequences. These things have
Hmm.
long-reaching
You
consequences.
know, you know,
Hmm.
there are some fruits, and actually it's called the fruit, but it's made up of all these different characteristics. The fruit of the
Hmm.
Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness,
Hmm.
faithfulness,
Yeah.
gentleness, self control. These are the manifestations of an individual who is truly converted.
Hmm.
And if for some reason you are manifesting the opposite of any of these, and you are a church leader, you are a church member, you call yourself a believer, it is time for you to take stock,
Yeah. And
because you are really hindering the spiritual growth and development of others.
not because you are fiery and a fiery, we call fiery Christian, and you believe that you got it all together and you know the Bible is saying that too. That too. See, this is the controversy pass now. That too could be arrogance, and arrogance has nowhere in the place of the church too. So all these things. Let me tell you something, and I want to send a word out to all the Christians that I know and come to. Stop judging. Stop telling people what you see, because the Bible tells me few are chosen.
Many are called.
Many are called.
Yeah, few
Few.
chosen.
Few chosen.
Hmm.
So if the Bible tell you few chosen, that means majority of y'all ain't going nowhere. Just joking and joking and jiving. So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you all something. You could hide as much you want. See, you could fool majority of the people. Like my sister Yolanda is telling me all the time, Tony, you can't talk because you can't talk. So you know why she say that? She say because she look at my lifestyle.
Outward
Yeah,
appearance. The
and she
outward
judged me on my
appearance.
life
Yeah.
lifestyle. She don't look at nothing.
Mind you,
I could be the very
the
chosen one.
fruit, the fruit that we manifest
Mm.
might be the thing that she's judging by.
Uh,
But judge not that ye be not
judge.
judged, right? If you are my brother or sister, be it spiritual or blood, if I am manifesting some things that are unbecoming of a child of God, it is your duty to come to me as an individual and
Mm.
say, I notice. Don't say that
She do.
you are. I notice. Am I wrong in my observation? Don't go as if you are already judge, jury, and what's the other thing,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
And
you
jail
come,
master too.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
thank
I put
you.
you in
And the
jail.
jailer, the judge, jury, and the jailer come now to cast condemnation on me
Mhm.
because things are not always as they appear. Remember the motive of the individual. Only God knows that.
Only and you know,
The individual knows as well, but
and
only God knows
and you know,
otherwise.
sometimes you know what has get me sometimes. Um, I am convinced 100% that we all sin.
We all are. We all are.
Okay,
We were born in
we
sin
want
and
to sin.
shaped in
Okay,
iniquity.
so who are you to judge?
We all should be working on our own soul salvation.
Right.
And when we come together as a body of believers, we only go for one purpose, and that's to worship, offer praise and thanksgiving to God for his mercies, goodness, kindness. And not everything that you learn, you are supposed to learn from the mouth of your pastor. The Holy Spirit is still at work. He still teaches us. He brings clarity on the Word of God to each of us. Okay? Yes, some of us are not able to read, but those of us that can read, we need to listen to the Holy Spirit and not to another man or woman because they could be in error. And I am so tired of the cross judgment and the condemnation because I don't believe as you believe. That does not make you right and me
I'm wrong.
wrong.
But you see, again, there now, that's what we're closing. We're going with this closing. How could you see the confusion? There's so much confusion. That's why, like I say, men don't go to church because of confusion.
Mhm.
You 7 events, I came, you tell me, and you can tell me I used to first church because you, well, okay. So what if you was the first church? Oh, I got it right. Okay, you got it right, but we're supposed to be serving one God, right? So what make you, because you Catholics and you're the first church, what make you?
But that's doctrines.
Yeah,
When you
but
when you look
that's
at
why going on the doctrine
when
causes
you
confusion.
when you look at the message that Christ came to bring, it is reflective of
Um,
what the earlier prophets also taught. It's not something new. It's
yeah,
the same
same
message,
message, same message.
except that he was the promised Messiah who came under special conditions. And the one thing that we have neglected to acknowledge is he said to us in his own words, unless we can't rely on the Bible, he said, these things that I do,
Mhm.
you will do greater
Grace like on
things.
greater things,
Greater things. How many of us are out there doing
greater things.
anything greater than what
No,
Jesus did?
we doing the same
If
thing.
we say we are, the church will knock
Look,
us down, kill us,
exactly,
crush us, prove
because
we are blaspheming.
right
When Christ
there you
himself
go.
tell us
That's where it's going with the conversation. You got it.
we are
Yeah,
blaspheming, okay? The disciples, when Peter, they raised the dead, they healed
yeah.
the sick.
If you change
How
things
many of us as believers, or is it reserved
for the
for the
pastor,
chosen
yeah,
few?
yeah, the only pastor. Is it for the pastor?
But if we have faith as small as a mustard
See,
seed, what we could say to the mountains,
move.
move. But we cast and we place our faith and trust in mankind.
Yeah.
Our
You
faith, our
you have to
trust should
wear
be
a
in
collar.
God.
You have to wear the collar so the sick could be healed. And guess what? 90% time when the sick get healed, it's never the pastor heal the sick.
It's the faith
It's
of
the
the
individual.
individual.
Right.
It's the
Okay.
faith. The prayer works, but the faith.
He
That is what Jesus said to
he who
every individual that he healed. He said, "Your faith has made you whole.
right.
Your
He
faith,
he
your faith."
he who
hmm
believe.
hmm
In
Do
Him.
you believe?
Yeah,
And that's what he
we
asks. Either
believe.
do you believe or your faith has made you whole.
Right.
It's our
It's
faith.
our faith.
Yes, the pastor is relevant. He needs to be someone because many of us need a
Somebody to lead, a
teacher,
teacher to.
right?
Mhm.
At least to introduce us,
Yeah.
just like how our parents
Mhm.
had to nature and nurture us until we were
Mhm.
fully functional enough to be able to do things on our own.
But I know, but see, I know we are not. I know some of y'all see this program. Y'all gonna think we bashing the pastor and bashing this. We're not doing that. What we doing is just having a discussion, open discussion, based on based on what's going on today. We're not knocking the pastor because there's some good ones and there's some ones that has done some great things and still be doing some good things. And so we just enjoying it and we just having a good discussion so we get dialogue back and forth and so we can help under the trees based on helping and learning and teaching we the whole thing in the process. Anyway, we coming to the end of our program
Yes, we
today
have.
and it's been good and it's we just touched the surface. But I want to go back. Do you have anything else on this when you close it?
Basically, we just need to know that our journey, our spiritual journey, is one where we must learn daily. We have the
If I
Bible, we
can
have
hear
other
my
writings,
mother
and we
sing
must
again,
not
when
disregard the prophets.
mother
Christ came,
pray again.
he came with a message, he came and he gave us instructions.
And
When he was here, he
Jesus come,
exemplified the life
and
that we
my
are to
mother
live. So when we come
prays
together as a
again.
body of
If
believers,
I
each of
can
us
hear
are
my
equal.
mother
We all must
just
know
pray,
that we have a role to play and we
my
must seek to
mother
learn and
sing
understand and
again.
rely on God
My
and
mother
His Holy Spirit
sing
to
again.
give us the
Oh,
direction that we must move in. Tony is
sing
here
again.
singing.
Oh, if I can hear my mother just praise again. Oh, yeah, my mother voice again. And if I can
Okay,
hear my mother sing again.
I
Anyway,
think we're gonna
folks,
end on that.
it's a Mother's Day. We want you to enjoy everything, everything a mother. Share, enjoy your mother today. Melanie, I wish my mother was living.
I could hear that.
Yeah, I love my mother. And Melanie, I know you love your mother. She ain't here,
But
but
she's alive,
yeah,
thank God.
but if she were here, you would have been up there cooking and
You
this and this and
think?
you know how you go.
You
And
think?
so, I know, like I say, all you old folks who got a mother, boy, listen, you're blessed. I'm fortunate. I have to find somebody else's mother to celebrate with. Boy, and many of us soon
Well,
have a mother.
let me say this.
Mhm.
The memory of your mother lives on. And she lives on in you and every one of your siblings.
Yeah, yeah.
She live on.
Yeah, we would have had a Mother's Day dinner. Everybody been by one house. Boy, I tell you,
She
it would
lives
have been
on.
a family day. But anyhow, I want you to enjoy the Mother's Day. Take your mother for dinner or not. Now just kiss her, simple. Basic, hug her and kiss her.
Spend time.
Yeah, and
Spend time.
tell her
Quality
under the tree
time.
send love to her. To all the mothers, hug them and kiss them and say from under the tree. Melanie,
Okay, Tony. So
next week.
next week, remember,
Mhm.
we're still in COVID climate. So social distancing,
Don't bring that COVID home. Keep it away.
washing our
Just
hands,
wash, wash, wash,
cleaning
wash,
shared
wash, wash, wash,
surfaces, and
wash,
wearing
wash,
our
wash your
masks
hands.
every
Wash,
time we
wash,
go
wash.
out into the public.
Keep that
Many
COVID.
persons are taking up
Wash,
the
wash, wash.
vaccines,
Keep
but
that COVID.
remember, The
away from your
vaccine does
mother.
not
Just wash.
prevent
Keep
you
that
from
COVID
being
away
reinfected.
from your mother. Keep
So
that COVID away
do
from your mother.
everything in your
Just wash,
power
wash,
to
wash, 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 wash.
keep it
Keep that
safe.
COVID away from your mother. Don't bring it home. Wash your hands. Keep that COVID. Anyway, folks, have a good day. Enjoy. See you next week. Mm. Um, wash, 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 wash.